Oh, hello, everybody. Nice meeting you all again. Yes, I'm about to talk about SIK, Centrum för idrott och kultur, or Center for Sports and Culture, built in Knivsta. Almost done. 2/3 are done now. Remaining is to finish up the ice hall. And I called it Passivhus and carbon dioxide, a good combination, question mark, or a statement. It's about how we use the carbon dioxide to avoid using carbon dioxide when serving this house with everything it needs. As Helmut said, the house contains lots of activities: sport halls, ice hall, theater, restaurant, offices. It's about 12,000 square meters big. And to get it very efficient, we started with the obvious thing. We built it as a passive house. We are almost there. But then we need lots of things in this house because we have so lots of activities in it. We need to make ice in the ice hall, since that makes sense. Otherwise it would be a dance floor. We need hot water for making the ice, funnily enough, to melting snow when making the ice. We get snow as a product to get rid of. We have to make showers, we have to make dish washing and so on. We need lots of ventilation in this house, since it's much activities. Heating, yes, a bit of heating, quite a lot of cooling. All the activities will create lots of internal gains that we need to cool out. And how to create a good system for all this. Building the house as a passive house is the simple part. Just do as Wolfgang told us, and the house is good. Well, to produce the ice in the ice hall, we use a cooling machine that runs on carbon dioxide. It's a natural refrigerant. It's very efficient. It's quite environmental friendly. We borrow carbon dioxide for a while. It's something come out from industrial processes. We capture it and use it in this machine. So we have to buy this very expensive machine. It's very efficient. We need it. And what else can we do when we have it? Yeah, we can develop it to do more things than just cool carbon dioxide to produce ice. This Labkyl is the cooling company. It's located in Stockholm. They are quite big on working the carbon dioxide systems, and they have developed lots of experience during years. And they helped us with developing those systems. I had some good designing ideas, and they had good experience, and together we were working really good producing this. So I will show you how we made this machine work and how it provides us with everything we need during the seasons. So the operating mood for the whole system, the house and the machine, during autumn, mild winter and spring. Here are the most of the hours during winter, +5 to -5 about. Here is the cooling machine in the middle. It cools the ice, produces ice, take up heat. The heat runs around in a circuit. Here is all the heating systems we need in the house. It's radiators, it's floor heating, it's ventilation heating, it's snow melting. And we use the energy from freezing ice. Heat it up, put it out in the water system in the house, and use it in the house. Funny thing, in the ice hall, lots of energy goes round and round and round. The ice cools the house. We take the heat, blow it in with the ventilation system in the ice hall. The ice picks up the heat, and it goes back round and round. Then we add on new water, freeze the water down, We lower the temperature, we have a fast change, and becomes loads of energy to use. So we can use it in the other parts of the house as well. In those mild temperatures outside, and combined with the passive house, this energy is enough to provide us with all the heat we need. And that's lots of hours during winter.
Malmö has gone through a great transformation from the old industrial city when we had a big harbor shipyard industry in Malmö, illustrated by the Kockums crane. Moving on to the Sustainable Housing Expo in 2001, Bonnollet, where we tried to emphasize one of the main parts there were energy efficiency and the passive houses. And now Malmö has gone into a new phase. The Western Harbor is almost full. And we've moved from being an industrial city into a knowledge-based and information-based city. At the same time, we can see within our environmental work that we are still struggling. We have done pilots, we have done a lot of tests and find new solutions, but we haven't been able to reach our main objectives, our political goals. We're still working with the goal of that the city of Malmö as an organization should be climate neutral until the year of 2020. And we also have a goal of that the proportion of renewable energy within our organization to be 100% within the same year. When we look back, if we go back into 2016, we could see that with our strategies, all the decisions that we taken at that time, we would only reach goals of successfulness of 62%. So how could we reach further? What we did then was that we invited a lot of actors. We understood that the city can't do this on our own. So together with all the big system owners, for example, we could see that by just taking 4 main decisions, we could reach a goal fulfillment of 94%. And with additional 4 additions, we could almost reach 100%. So everything was done by setting up a common understanding of the goals, doing a lot of analysis of the current situation, framing and understanding which kind of decision would have the greatest impact. Though we could see that even though we took these decisions, we're not moving we're moving too slowly. And one of the main problems that we still have is the reduction of emissions. Energy efficiency, we have come far. So now we have done, we decided to take action and put some emphasis on creating an acceleration process, trying to transform our city in a very short time. And we're doing this with different kinds of sector transformation, and also using test beds and projects, proactive test beds activities as a tool. And I will give you some small example of this. So the transformation process is more or less the same thing as we did with the energy efficient work we did from 2016. It's to better understand the current situation and doing a lot of analysis to get this kind of goal fulfillment. And we have to create this kind of mutual understanding of what the mission looks like. So not only looking on trying to find the most innovative solutions, it's mainly to get a common understanding and also try to see how we organize ourselves in the best way. And we need to go from pilot project to real transformative system change. And I brought this from Bible Cities to just illustrate that we've done a lot of what we can see upside, the top of the iceberg, trying to look on innovative solutions and trying to create these kinds of collaborations, partnership with our actors. But now we need to move down below the surface and work a lot with trying to find the financial instruments, the policy changes that we need to get real transformation.
Yeah, I start by trying to translate our name of the project, like Hoppet. In Swedish, it's both can translate to hope. We hope for a big transition of the construction industry, of course. And also this leap that we want the industry to do. And also we need to follow ourselves and also make a big change. First, I would like to show a movie that is explain a bit of our work, and I think it's good time for you to stand up and get some blood in your feet and maybe in your head as well. So please stand up.
I Sverige konsumerar vi som om vi hade 4 jordklot att leva på. För att komma till rätta med våra klimatproblem ska Göteborgs stad vara en av världens mest progressiva städer. Redan 2030 ska lokalförvaltningen vara Sveriges första fossilfria förvaltning. Därför behöver vi dig. Vårt första steg är att börja bygga fossilfritt. Det ska bli en förskola och den ska vara klar 2021. Inga fossila ämnen ska användas någonstans i kedjan, vare sig i material och produkter eller vid utvinning av råvaror, under transporter och i arbetsmaskiner. Det ska inte heller användas någon energi från fossila källor i tillverkningsindustrin, på byggarbetsplatsen eller i den färdiga förskolan. Ingen i västvärlden har byggt på det här sättet sedan vi började använda olja, och ingen vet om det kommer att fungera. Därför behöver vi dig. Vi kallar projektet Hoppet. Ett modigt innovationsprojekt som utmanar alla konventionella sätt att bygga. Tillsammans med byggbranschen ska vi utforska och utveckla fossilfria metoder. Samtidigt lyfter vi fram det som redan finns. Våra erfarenheter kommer att användas i all framtida byggnation i Göteborgs stads regi. På sikt ska det här bli en standard för branschen. Vill du vara med? Tillsammans ska vi hitta nya metoder och utmana traditioner. Då kan vi minska utsläppen och bromsa vårt uttag av jordens resurser. Det är den största utmaningen i svensk bygghistoria. Därför behöver vi dig.
Yes, I'm from the city of Gothenburg, as I mentioned, and we have since 2014 we have had a climate strategic program that is one of the first in the world to also include consumption-based emissions when setting the goals. So I would say that we have really ambitious goals. And this tradition with also addressing the emissions that occur in other countries due to our consumption, that is really why this project I'm going to talk about has been invented in Gothenburg, I would think. And at my administration, we also have a political decision that all our activities in the administration should be net zero emission of greenhouse gases by 2030. This is from the budget in 2017. The city of Gothenburg and our administration should build a preschool which as far as possible is fossil-free at all stages, from raw material extraction, transport and manufacturing of the construction material, and also including emissions on the construction site. And if we at all have any climate impact, we should compensate for our footprint.
the most impression I have today is that I'm pretty convinced that we will make this change happen, because you in this room and all these expositions tells me that we have the skills. And the Information Center is a government initiative that comes from an investigation from the Boverket and Energimyndigheten. And the conclusion they came to was that we have enough information and knowledge to make this happen, but the people that need this information don't get it. Or want it, you could say. And I think it's really interesting to start with your speech, Volkan, because it is a challenge to make it happen. And I will start with this picture. This is the fact about how our sector is influencing the climate. And I started to looking into the figures, because my target is basically to look into where does it leak sustainability, and how can we make it happen? Those two questions is in my brain all the time when I'm working. And when I see these figures, this is from Boverket, you could see that it was 31% used energy, and it's increased to 30-70% in Sweden. And somebody says, we build so much, so that's the reason. But the tricky part is that the equation regarding budget for CO2, we can't go over the budget, because then we have a problem, like you said. The climate will have problems. So, and as we heard, we have a lot of examples of initiatives that happen, and I'm really happy that we could see that, because I think one of the most important things to make this change is that we start thinking about the forces that will drive the change. And what I started to look into is, first, where do we have the leakage in the sector, and where do we have to increase our activities to make it change, to start it moving. And as Helmut asked me, okay, who is the most important people or institution of companies to reach out to make it happen? And if we look into the new build or the existing building stock, so I exaggerated a little bit. We don't add on 1% residential houses each year in Sweden. It's 0.8, 0.9. We have been talking pretty much about new build today. And then we have the existing building stock that consumes 2 to 3 times more energy per square meter. We heard that we are pretty good on energy efficiency. But look, if we look into the figures, the carbon dioxide emission from the personal cars in Sweden is roughly 11 million tons. And the existing building stocks have a similar 5 million tons. And do you think it's pretty good? It's not pretty good, it's pretty much, I would say.
That we only have one planet. Even if the Swedish population thinks we have 4, or at least consume as we have 4, we only have one. And we need a change. Ingrid was saying it. We need a change, and it will probably not be a really nice change for a lot of us people. We need to change how we build, and for who we are building. At the moment in Sweden, we build a lot of houses, but it's only the people that's really rich that afford to live there. So I really want to say thank you to the guys of you who've been talking about the social aspect, the social sustainability, even in this sector. Been to many events like this, and we always talk, I mean, I'm a civil engineer, I love the engineering and the technology, but there's people supposed to be living in this. And we so many times just forgot about the people that should be living or walking around in these areas where we build all these houses. So I'm glad that some of you actually mentioned that today as well, as one part of this, this challenge. We also have to take care of all the people on our earth. We're talking about all the materials we should build this stuff up, and a lot of those materials are not coming from Sweden. They're coming from other countries where people don't have the same good of living as we have. And we also have to take care. Oh, there's the first picture of me. That's good. In the parliament, and in Sweden we only have one chamber, so it's the chamber in the parliament. So that's the first picture. We can take the next. That's the planet that I said. So I didn't lie to you, and it don't feel that well. So you can see. We have to take care of all the people on Earth, and we also have to take care of the ecological system. We all so many times just forgot about that thing, that we are just one part in a bigger system. So I'm at my job today, in the same way I did before when I was in the sector. I'm fighting every day to get my colleagues to understand that we have to change. There should be some of my colleagues here today, I would think, but they are not. Of course, we are in Stockholm. I should be in Stockholm too, because we're working there. But this is important. So I'm here, and I'm willing to listen to you. But we have to do this together. So, yes, Sweden is a small country. And no, we are not the best anymore. I hope we will be someday again. I hope we will be in the first lead position, and that people will look at Sweden again. But we are not, and we have to realize that. I can just do a reflection. Our friends from Germany and Austria have been talking today. They have been showing us what they have done. And when a lot of the Swedish representations on the stage have been showing our plan, or this is what we will do. And that's good, but still, we are not the best. So we have so much to learn from our friends from the other countries. And I think we should do that. Oh yeah, I have the pictures, I can change. That's a good one. If anybody don't know who this is, it's Greta Thunberg. She's a climate activist, sitting outside my job every Friday. Not now, because she's in the States, but she's been sitting there for a while. And she is maybe the future's hero. She have done something mind-changing that I'm so thankful for. But I'm also ashamed that she have to do what she are doing. We have to stop and just think, why are we here? Why are we doing what we are doing? And I'm just realized I'm here to try to save the planet, or at least leave a well-functioned planet to the next generation. To Greta. We own them that. So what can we do? At the moment, we are trying to take advantage of something that we call a climate declaration of all new buildings that will be built in Sweden.